Oh, and Sir Cliff is not the only guest on board. He did a brilliant job there.
Indeed he did. Now, by royal appointment, it's this evening's ringmaster Gary Barlow and our first night of the night, Sir Paul McCartney! There we go!
Hello!
Lovely to see you, lads.
Oh, nice to see you.
And that's how you'll be ending the evening. We can hear our trumpeters down there. He's having a little go. There we go.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
We know it's a
welcome.
very busy night,
Very
obviously, for
welcome,
both of you.
Yeah.
First of all, we must say it's a bit sad. We've just heard the news that the Duke of Edinburgh has been taken to hospital.
Yeah.
But the Palace have decided to go ahead with the evening.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Had you heard that news, Gary?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Such a shame.
It is really sad.
I think it may have just been a bit much for him maybe yesterday, you know, with the flotilla and all of that and being out.
Yeah, I
in the
couldn't have
thick
done
of it all.
that.
Yeah, I know, it's remarkable.
I was
mean,
cold
yeah.
watching it on telly.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a rotten day, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and
Been
Her
a bit luckier
Majesty,
today.
she stood, didn't she, for the whole time in just a suit? She must have been freezing, but she did a great job.
Well,
here
we
we
wish
are.
him all the best.
Yes,
you
we
know,
do wish him all the best.
wish him all
And here we are, Gary, a few months ago, we were in the Palace
I know.
ourselves talking about this whole thing. It's finally here.
I know, I can't believe it. I know, it's incredible. And it's massive as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it was funny, it was 2 years ago we started to plan this concert, and the crazy idea came up within about an hour or so of let's have the stage over there instead of in the back garden.
Yeah,
and when
yeah.
I got here on Thursday night and saw the stage set up, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I think it also shows, because I saw Sir Paul's band on stage the other night. Now these guys have played all over the world. They're all taking pictures of one another. I mean, even the bands are really excited about
But
it.
that's the thing, even backstage here, you know, you see folk artists seeing each other, haven't seen each other for ages, and there's a lovely feeling about it.
It's exciting, yeah. You know why it's not in the back garden? Because last time we did it, I was in the lineup with Her Majesty, and I said, "We're doing this next year, will we? It'd be great." She said, "Not in my back garden, you know."
And how did the whole collaboration between you two start? How did you get involved? Was it something you wanted to go for straight away?
Gary came and saw me for this one, and I'd done something for him before,
Yeah.
and so we knew each other.
I must say the meetings at your office are always fun. Because he does this thing where he goes, "What do you want me to sing?"
Yeah.
And you go, "Anything you want, what do you think?" And he goes, "What about back in the USSR? What do you say to this? When you come up with these songs, what do you say?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he just asked me, you know, and we talked about what songs, and I refused to do everything he suggested.
Yeah.
No, we just came up with it, and it was great, you know, I like the lad.
Yeah.
Well, are you both happy to stick around with us for a bit on the bus? We know you're very busy, but it'd be great if we could hang about for a couple of minutes more.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, the mall apparently is
Yeah,
filling
let's have
up.
a look at
isn't it?
some
We've got some
pictures,
pictures here.
Hey, but
Here
they're
we
all,
are.
I mean, the streets are filling up as we
There
go.
you are.
And these are people who aren't even kind of invited. They just turn up to look at this, you know,
They can
these
just
big
walk
screens.
up to and
Yeah.
see this, can't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
No,
wow.
that's it. And these are scenes that are happening right across the country. And we think Lucy is just outside of Buckingham Palace, just a stone's throw away. Lucy, where are you?
I am just outside at the top of Constitution Hill. It is so exciting here. The atmosphere is really, really building. Now, what is happening now is that the 10,000 people who are lucky enough to have seats for tonight's epic concert are filing in and taking their seats. The atmosphere is incredible. Some of them are so keen. They camped out last night in that weather. Some of them have been here from the crack of dawn this morning. I also got here very early this morning, walked up Constitution Hill, and I heard Stevie Wonder and Sir Paul McCartney doing a sound check. Amazing. Tonight's concert is not to be missed. It's going to be epic.
Now, the pair of you both went woo and wow as soon as you saw that top shot.
It's quite a scene, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's really great,
Is the
yeah.
idea there's going to be kind of images and all of that projected on that stage from above? or-
Yes, we get darkness at about 9:15, and at that point we start projecting onto the palace, and there's even someone performing on the palace later. So,
Oh,
the roof.
Oh!
Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
great.
we're going to ask you that a bit later on. but
Have
right.
you seen much of the Queen over the last few days? You know, obviously on the flotilla and
On the
this, that, and the
telly,
other, how she's
yeah.
been coping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ran into her at a do at the Royal Academy, and it's always amazing seeing the Queen, but in person, she just is so incredible.
Yeah.
And I was saying to someone, you know, when she took the throne, I was 10, so, you know, I was a kid, very impressionable, and I just loved her.
Yeah.
You know, this idea that we were going to have a woman as our monarch was very impressive for me. And then when you see the films that Charles has been showing, and you see them
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
so humanising,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, you
Well, that's
see
it,
him with the
watching it,
kids,
yeah.
and I love seeing Charles, you go,
Yeah,
he's
laughing at
giggling
himself,
away.
yeah.
I think it's great because people sometimes think the monarchy is just a bit distant, and you realise, you know, as I did as a 10-year-old kid, they're just good people.
Yeah.
Good example, I think.
And as a 10-year-old child, did you think you'd perform at the Diamond Jubilee Concert?
No, can you
No, you
imagine that?
didn't.
Yeah, I never thought I'd meet her. Certainly never thought I'd be performing for her. She's great. I love her.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just at Buckingham Palace where excitement is building. People are gathering in the centre of Swansea too. Carrie, are you there and can you hear us?
There are 20 towns and cities with these big screens transmitting the Queen's Jubilee Concert and also the One Show tonight. I've come down to Castle Square in Swansea where we are attempting something slightly different. We're going to see if we can break the record for the biggest royal Mexican wave. So we're practicing here. If you live within half an hour of Castle Square in Swansea, this is the place to be. Get yourself down here.
There you go.
I know it well.
Yeah.
Castle Street in Swansea.
Screens all over the UK, all over the world. I mean, this has to be one of the biggest audiences that you've ever
You're starting
played
to worry us now.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you all seem very relaxed.
No
but
pressure.
Actually, when does that moment come when you think, right, you know, I am kind of here to do a job, I've got to put on a good show?
For me, it's sound check this morning, I think,
Yeah.
when I saw the stage. I hadn't seen the setup. And it's very impressive, you know, and you're standing there and you're looking down the mall, which was only half full,
Yeah.
because this bit was clear. But then you start thinking, oh, it's going to be full. Oh, right.
Because we were speaking to Sir Cliff
Yeah,
Richard
we were.
earlier on, and he even said, you know, I will start feeling nervous, even though it's great seeing friends and, you know, catching up with people. The moment before you go on stage, you can't help get, you know, butterflies once again.
Look at
I
the
think so,
expectation. 50 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Until it all
Grief,
starts
you're
going.
really worrying me.
This is too much.
It'll be all right. Well, we want to know.
Wonderful
Oh,
moments.
Yeah, some lovely memories
Yeah,
there, weren't there?
super.
Well, here we are. We've moved outside to a garden area.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Exactly.
It's all right,
Amazing.
isn't it?
It's just like a garden.
Don't
Yeah.
drink all that tea at once.
Now, upstairs, Paul, you touched on your memories as a boy, you know,
Yeah.
of the Queen. But you would have been about 10, wouldn't you, in 1953?
Yeah, exactly 10, yeah.
What were your memories?
We know
Yeah.
that you were exactly 10
Yeah.
because we've got some homework here
Oh, my gosh.
of a young Paul McCartney who is 10 years old at 10 months.
10 months.
There you go. It's a very important
Very
number, 10
accurate,
months.
yeah.
So what's the story behind this? So Paul, do you remember? Do you know
This
what
was, yeah, there was a competition for
Yeah.
all the schools, and you had to write about coronation or about monarchy, and that was my entry, and I won a prize for that.
What a prize!
Yeah, I did. The Lord Mayor of Liverpool gave me a book.
Still on
was
display
great.
though, isn't it? This,
Yeah.
I think, isn't it? Actually in Liverpool.
Kind of neat handwriting, I think, for
Yeah.
a 10-year-old.
A few little mistakes. didn't they,
Yeah.
Karen?
Few mistakes. You had to
Oh,
put it
very
in.
neat handwriting there, Paul.
Thank you.
And Gary, you of course will never remember the coronation, but you were just about old enough, weren't you, to remember the Silver Jubilee
That's right.
in
I was
1977,
six.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we've got a little picture of you looking very cute as a young
Yes.
boy. There you
Oh,
are.
it was great. It was great. I remember the whole street all having a big garden like this.
Yeah.
In that garden, it brought the whole neighbourhood together, as it's going to do today. You know, to see the whole of England waving flags. It's brilliant.
Last night on that documentary, you said a lovely thing where you said, I was up against the rail and said, I would never imagine that I would get on the other side.
Yeah.
And yet, look
Yeah.
at what you've done.
I know, it's been amazing.
Well, getting back to the concert tonight. Now, Paul, you didn't give us any hints whatsoever to what would be on your set list. Can you give us, you know, will there be a sing-along? Because you're closing the show, aren't you?
There's a little bit of a sing-along, yeah.
Right, okay.
We don't have long, you know, nobody on the show has long. But there is a little bit of a sing-along, yeah. Going to ask the audience to join in on one little bit.
Oh, yes.
There'll be some booms and bangs. Can't think what number that'll be on. And, you know, we're going to have fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward. I think I know what that sing-along might be, and I think it would go all the way around the UK as well, and it'll just keep going and going and going. But Gary, what are you going to be doing? Is it something with
I'm
Sharon?
doing a duet. But you've given that away.
Oh, I'm not
Thanks
allowed to
very
say
much,
that.
everybody. Anyway, there you go.
Are we not allowed to say that?
And then we're coming back on after the duet, and we're going to do Sing, which is the Diamond Jubilee single.
Right, okay.
So I'm really looking forward to
Congratulations
that.
on that one as
The
well.
girls must be so excited. And we've seen them already. They look glamorous. They're
I
over
know.
there. They are.
And also, as well as the military wives and Gareth, we have about 30 people from around the Commonwealth who've came over to join us. The Slum Drummers are here, the African Children's Choir are here, and they're loving being in London. They can't believe all this.
Yeah. Okay,
All the rain.
brilliant.
Yeah. I'm loving the rain.
They love it.
And obviously, Paul, I mean, you've met royalty so many times, you know, you know, it's just wonderful for you to be here as
Yeah,
well.
I've been very lucky, you know, since the early days of the Beatles. Yeah, I've met royalty quite a few times, and as you say, I never thought I'd meet them ever as a kid. But I think the main thing is for me, he said, sticking his phone in his pocket.
Was that just going off
that
there,
was my
Bob?
phone, yeah. Main thing for me, you know, is the human aspect that you never realise because we always see them on stamps or money or whatever, you know. The first time I ever met the Queen, well, I was in a liner, and she lives at Windsor, obviously. She said, "Where are you playing tomorrow night?" And I said, "We're playing at Slough, Mum, which is just outside Windsor." And she said, "Oh, that's just near us." And it's just like, you wouldn't expect her to say that, you know, it's near us.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Windsor, yeah. So I've always found her to be very warm and very nice. And, you know, she came up and opened our performing arts school, which is my old grammar school in Liverpool, Lipper, yeah. And I talked to her the other night and she remembered it. I said, "Do you remember that?" She said, "Oh, yeah, she's all there, you know."
Switched on.
She's fabulous.
And it's going to be a big month for you, Paul, isn't it? Because you've got this tonight, but later on in the month you're celebrating a big birthday.
Yeah.
Any big plans for that?
Family.
Right,
Just
yeah.
kind of family. I like
quiet.
birthdays just with the family. I don't like to do a big thing, you know.
Are we
A big
allowed to say
thing with
which
the family.
birthday?
Yeah, 70.
70.
Big 7-0.
Brilliant.
Incredible.
You should just have a massive concert in your garden. Just something like this. Set up
do.
a stage in front of the house and have a good thing. But there
That's
we go.
one way to go, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think I'll be going. I think I'll be going to the small.
Well, listen, have a good one tonight. I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much.
Obviously,
Right, should we have a
can't wait
time
to see it.
check? Now, how long into the concert?
We can't quite see because
It's
our camera's in the
42
way.
minutes, they tell us, until
Yeah.
the concert starts.